So there I was again at about 4 a.m. my time, just trying to innocently watch TV, this time not Godzilla 98, and Square Enix decides to drop something on us again. This time it's the entire opening cinematic of the game. Honestly, this is completely unexpected, dude. Exactly 2 weeks ago, we got the theme song trailer. Just yesterday, we got all those screenshots that we talked about. And then here we are 1 day later, and we're getting this. They're definitely ramping up the marketing of the game. It's pretty insane. Let's just hop into it. So the video opens up with my favorite part of the entire cinematic because, for one, it's new for me. But secondly, it's our first official look at the outside of Midgar, the surrounding area of Midgar. This bird is flying over the waste. It's completely expansive. You don't see anything as far as the eye can see. It's just wasteland. You can't even see where calm would potentially be. Which I absolutely love. I love seeing a gigantic wasteland now outside of Midgar. Really cuts it off from the rest of the world. And when it came to the original game, the wasteland area wasn't that big, right? You just walk a little bit on the world map, you're to the grassy area, and then you're walking to calm. We then get some more footage of the bird flying into Midgar, which is still some new stuff, but then it kind of rolls into the Shinra propaganda stuff. Now, we talked about this a while back. I covered it, Night Sky Prince. Other people covered it. I think it came from one of Azuvazad's subscribers. So there's nothing new here, but we're seeing it officially for the first time. So we're not going to sit here and break all this down because we've talked about it before in a dedicated video, which I'll link somewhere in the description. But the only thing that's new here compared to the propaganda video is it's not interrupted by Jesse hijacking the feed or whatever, which was a part of the press demo where this propaganda video was shown. Well, technically there is some new stuff here because we're looking at video this time as opposed to leaked images beforehand, but they're still pretty much the exact same thing. But it then does roll into some new stuff with the flower. I don't recognize the flower from the leaked images. It might have been, I don't know, it's been a long time since I made that video, but you see the petal falling off the flower, which is of course indicating them sucking the planet dry, killing the planet, taking all the Mako. We then get some kids playing at the Sector 6 Slums Park, which is of course from the original game right before Wall Market. And I believe, from what I've heard, this clip or this video was shown at the Skytree event. I haven't looked into it yet, so this is my first time seeing this at least. But this throws back to the original trailer, the original reveal trailer we got for Final Fantasy VII Remake back at E3 2015, where we've seen the Mako reflection in the little girl's eye. We're seeing the full scene now, finally, all these years later. But having gone back and looked at that scene from the 2015 reveal trailer, it actually had a plant dying as well, so this is something they've conceptualized for a long time. And after the park scene, we roll into the actual intro sequence of the game, which is what I thought this video was initially. When they said it's the opening movie, I was thinking this. Aerith in the alleyway, walks out, pan out, look at Midgar, zoom in on Cloud on the train. That's what I thought it was, but when you actually pay attention, it's like a 5.5 minute video, so it could not have been that. But that's what I thought it was initially. This I've already seen as well. This happened with the data mining and the leaks. I've already watched this, so again, this is something for me personally that is not new. Now, we've had some of the intro sequence in previous trailers, like Aerith in the alleyway with the State of Play trailer. And then, of course, we have Aerith picking up the flower and it's zooming out to the aerial shot of Midgar from the E3 2019 trailer. So some of it's new, some of it's not, but I mentioned this in my demo, review breakdown video I did, where she kind of gets spooked by something down the alleyway from her. She comes running out of the alleyway, somebody bumps into her, she drops a flower, and then somebody steps on it, and then we get the zoom out shot. The entire alleyway intro sequence is also a part of the demo, if you happen to have watched that leaked demo footage out there. We then get the zoom-in shot of Cloud on top of the train, which I guess is technically new, but we did get a brief look at it with the Game Awards trailer that was dedicated to Cloud. The scene that follows it, however, is relatively new if you avoided watching any of the demo footage. That's where we got to actually see this. We got a brief look at it with the gameplay trailer from 2015. We got to actually see Biggs hold somebody. Jesse does a spin kick to the guy's stomach. But we're getting the full scene here. It's just pretty cool to have this updated scene finally officially released so that everybody can watch it. I'm not going super in depth with the breakdown on a lot of this stuff because I've talked about pretty much everything we see in this video. Like this scene, for example, was a part of that demo. I reviewed the demo. I've already talked about this scene. But all in all, this was pretty damn cool to see and pretty unexpected. Again, we just got a new trailer and we got a shit ton of screenshots just yesterday. So I don't think any of us were expecting to get anything, at least for a little bit, at least another week or so. And to get the opening cinematic of the game is pretty interesting. I don't know how often games do that, where they're just hey, here's the opening shot of the game, the opening cinematic. I don't know how often games release that ahead of time, but it's still pretty cool to see. Somebody had mentioned me doing a reaction video to this, and that would have been a cool idea, but it would have been a kind of a letdown sort of reaction video, similar to the Game Awards video for me. It was a letdown to react to because I'd already seen most of that. Same thing here. There'd have been very few things that were actually new, pretty much just this opening shot and a little bit of things sprinkled throughout. But pretty much all of this video stuff I've talked about in previous videos, and that's possibly why they decided to release this, because a lot of this video has already leaked online, like we talked about. Except for the opening shot of the bird flying, the kids at the park, that whole scene, which I guess that was shown at Skytree, so that even that's out there too. Really, it's just the bird flying that's new. So really, now that I'm thinking about it and talking about it, it's not really surprising they released this, because it's kind of already all out there anyways. But again, as I mentioned previously, my favorite shot is the bird flying around. Part of it is because it's new, but also just seeing outside the walls of Midgar. We know the game is quote-unquote Midgar only, so seeing anything outside of Midgar is pretty nice. We did get to see, Tifa and Cloud when they're younger in Nibelheim, but you're not really seeing Nibelheim. You're seeing like the tops of houses in the background. That's all you're seeing. So whether or not this first game actually allows us to get outside the walls of Midgar and play a little bit, or the second game picks up after we have escaped, we have an idea of what the area is going to look like. We're going to be traveling through an expansive wasteland desert before we ever reach Calm. And I love that. Anyways, but dudes, that's pretty much the video. It's cool they release this publicly. I know some people aren't going to like it because a lot of people want them to show less and go into the game really fresh. But for me, this isn't much of a spoiler because it wasn't really new. But of course, I pass off to you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the opening movie for Final Fantasy VII Remake? Leave your thoughts and more in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay updated with more Final Fantasy VII Remake content. Turn on notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @dashingdavid. I'm a Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.